What's up, guys? This is the actual episode 2 of Double Dragon. I forgot about the World Series, and Otaku's actually with me today, with me right now. So let me pop him in. What's going on?
What's up?
I
Yeah, I think
forgot.
we got we were supposed to go on at 8, but I was like catching the last part of the World Series and it just ended. So my bad, yeah.
No, that's my bad too because I forgot. Yeah.
It is such a good
But
World Series, man. You should be watching it. It's
yeah.
like
Well, I just got off work and then I made some food and then I'm like, oh, whatever. No. And then I just made
gotcha.
yeah. So I'm like.
Yeah. I mean,
So
you're not vested in it. It's like Shohei Otani got hurt though today
oh,
during the
okay. So
game.
right.
So we have to wait and see what his status is, but should be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, but the biggest thing coming out of New York Comic Con is Peach Momoko thing.
That's
Again.
right.
Again. Two
Yeah,
times. Dude,
there was
I'm
another
like
fight, right?
yeah, remember I told you I go if it keeps on happening, she's gonna eventually go, hey, I'm not coming back to the US if it keeps happening. But and I already said this already. I go and I go, this is gonna drive her to go, hey, I'm not safe going to New York, so I'm not coming to the US or she'll go to another con or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
I don't understand why people are, this. I get that it's worth a lot of money if you get a signature and all that. It's like
Right,
you can resell it,
right.
but fighting, like, come on, be an adult, man.
Yeah. And then they said it wasn't even the people like it, well the story was how they got the cover was if you were a attendee that was the only way to get it. So
Yep.
So, and then a lot of like a vendor snuck a attendee badge and tried to go grab books. But the problem is, it should have been one per person, not three per person, or whatever it was. They said it was like three, and the biggest thing, it's both of their signatures. It's not just Todd's; it's both of theirs.
Yeah.
So, and it was only 300 copies.
Yep.
So that doesn't make sense if it's three copies per person. How are you gonna give people three and there's only supposed to be 300 issues?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a dumb. I think in the past she was willing to sign like 7 books. That's too
Right,
many books, to be honest.
right.
She's just got to sign one and
Well,
move it,
even Todd,
move
even
along.
if you watch Todd's interview with Comic Tom or whatever, he even told Peach, "How are you gonna sign all that stuff?" He goes, "I only signed this amount of stuff."
Yeah.
she signed everything that because she went to what was it, CGC or whatever at the same time he was, and he asked her, he goes, "How are you going to sign all this stuff when I have, this amount of stuff, but I take, whatever breaks or whatever."
Yeah.
And she goes, she, so she's stretching herself thin too. On top of that, like
Well, she's got this weird signature that takes
right,
it's not like quick, like Jim has a quick signature. It's like a scribble. But
right,
she has this like it's kind of a cutesy like
right,
signature, and it's probably takes a long. So I mean, if I were her, I would really limit to 1 book per person and keep
right.
the line moving. Um,
What? Because what I'll talk. What happened was the books were already signed by both of
oh,
them
okay.
already, and it was 300 copies, uh, flat. But the person the vendor or whoever was doing it was telling the attendees could get 3 per person. But if it's only 300 copies, how are you
That's really
getting
100
three
people.
copies?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense. Yeah, should have been
Right.
1 person per copy.
Right.
And and also, I just feel like there's maybe some just cultural communication issues going on.
Issues too. Yeah.
Like she's got to understand, like, there's a lot of people at the con. There are a lot of people at the con that want to meet her, that are there for her
Right.
specifically, and either she needs to attend more cons
Right.
to get, just to have her.
Because the only con that I know is that she goes to, I think it's New York or
Yeah, that's it. She only does New York, and she does a con in like the Philippines. And
right.
so whenever she comes here, it's going to be like people want to get stuff. I mean, I could imagine people like driving from like Pennsylvania or,
Right.
like
Florida or anywhere. Yeah.
like even Florida. Yeah. Just to come up to see her. Right.
Right.
And she needs to make more like appearances to lessen that sort of hype around her presence. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't know why she doesn't. I mean, this is her, she should be on the con circuit. She's an American comic book artist. And she's gonna be able to sell her art, sell her prints, or do whatever, make money.
Right.
I know it's a big, travel thing. Coming all the way from Japan is not easy. This is why I think she should just do like New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
And then do like a string of like cons on the West Coast and then fly back,
Right.
Like, just take like 2-3 months out of the year. Do a bunch of shows, road trip or whatever, but spend some time.
Or at least do the like major, every city has a major con, so at least do all the major ones in each city, at least something like that.
Absolutely.
So to get her used to it, but the problem, like you said, the problem is she only goes to the Philippine one and then the New York one, and she doesn't even do San Diego, the big one.
Yeah.
So
if she were to do like one in the East Coast, one on the West Coast,
right,
and then one like kind of, I guess, like Chicago or something,
right,
all the major ones, that would at least like.
Right.
People could be like, oh, if I want to meet Peach, I'll plan it, like it creates more channels for people to meet her. But when you're just doing one show, you're going to get a bunch of people coming to New York Comic Con just to see her. And then they're going to be angry when they don't get to meet her or get something signed by her, or, like I'm sure that line was really long.
Or a guy walks up with a freaking box and has her, sign the whole box. You know what I mean? It's like,
that's ridiculous.
You've seen cons. You've been at cons where people bring like a whole short box to artists or whatever it is, and it's like, dude, it's like, what the what the f? It's like,
don't do that. Don't be that guy. Even if they're charging like $20 per signature, like don't be the guy who gets like a whole
do almost a whole short box. I've seen whole short boxes walking
rude,
up.
Man, that's just rude.
Yeah.
Like,
but a lot of the artists see them walk up. Yeah, a lot of the artists see them walk up and go, "Hey, I got these guys. I'll take you later or whatever it is. Leave this box with me. I'll I'll take care of it tonight or whatever it is, and give them back to them the next day. That's cool, but not sitting there and freaking actually signing the whole box, because that's at least 120 books in a box. You know what I mean? It's like, that's too many books, and that's one box. So imagine 2 boxes. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like 120 books in a box, and that's with bags and boards on them. Without bags and boards, you could fit a little more, but
well, one of my community friends went there, and the like New York Comic Con is huge, right? It's it's big. But there's a lot of artists there. There's a lot of people there. So what's unfortunate is when a high profile person like Todd McFarlane or Peach Momoko or Jim Lee go to this event, you got to wait in line.
You
got to wait in line and be patient and kind of prioritize who you want to see. Oftentimes it's just better not to target those high profile folks.
And
just go after, just the regular artists and wait it because they you have to wait in line for them too. You have to literally
Right,
wait
right,
in line for everybody.
right,
So
right,
you got to pick your poison. And
right.
I just feel
Or
bad.
at least, or you if you're gonna do stuff like this, or like autographs and stuff like this, or and then you want to do other stuff, you have to if you're gonna do it, you got to do all 3 days and then plan it. Maybe all the signatures on a Friday when it first starts, and then you know not Saturday, not Sunday.
Yeah.
Just do when
Yeah.
it first starts, or at least or do it on the last day. You know what I mean? It's either or.
Yeah, and I can imagine like if it's toward the last day, it would be like people would get pissed off, right? Like I
Yeah,
waited
yeah,
in line yesterday, didn't get a signature, and I'm waiting in line today.
right.
You know, I'd be pissed, especially if it was like a vendor that was ahead of me and he's not even supposed to be in that line, right?
Yeah, but like you said, like said, you have to plan it ahead. Like if you know Peach is gonna be there, Jim or any of these guys, big guys are gonna be there. Plan on
That's
it,
right.
but you got to plan on being in line on a Friday, not on like
Not
the
on
first day
Saturday,
of
yeah.
the not on a Saturday, and not
Right.
on a freaking Sunday.
Not on a
because
Sunday either. In fact,
because
Jim's not even there on Sunday.
right. I'm just saying, like
he's
on a Sunday, not all of them are going to be there. So
yeah.
it's either going to be a Friday or a Saturday. But best bet is the first day of the con. Get there and get it done.
Yeah. What's up, fanboy?
Yeah,
That's my boy,
yeah.
Fanboy Prime.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, I was on earlier. Yeah, for 20 minutes. So so this one's gonna be a little longer. I just forgot about the World Series, so I got off work.
It's gonna be Halloween next week. This is actually our Halloween episode. We didn't dress up as anything.
Right.
But I caught Fanboy's live stream this morning, the tail end of it, and he was dressed up as 90s George Michael. Which is my favorite.
Right.
George Michael, by the way.
Right.
You got hits like Fast Love. That was a great song, actually. Love Fast Love. That's when I thought I was a pimp. All right, so what are your plans for Halloween?
Probably work and then get off work, but don't know what I'm gonna do after work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but man, I don't got no. That's for the younger guys, man.
I have to take my kid to 3 sort of planned Halloween events. One is tomorrow.
Okay.
And then the other one is actually on Halloween. And then another one is at his school, which is I think on Monday. So we've got like 3 Halloween events. It's a fun time.
That's not. Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah. My 5-year-old likes to dress up. He's going as a cop.
Okay.
He's a cop without a gun, because we don't want him like flashing a gun.
Yeah.
And stuff. So he's got everything else. He's got the sunglasses, the handcuffs, no gun. He's got this nice little fake walkie-talkie, and it's all good.
Security guard. That's all.
He's a security.
That's all. But so this is our Halloween episode, and then we're showing books that we picked up the con I went to last week. I picked up, so I showed earlier. But since you're here, I can show you guys and Otaku this time.
You shut them off? Okay.
Yeah.
Right, well, let's set this up a little bit, okay? So this is going to be a weekly, So let's talk about the elephant in the room right now. Mm-hmm. We have the StreamYard account until January.
Yeah.
Which gives us about 3 months together. Yeah. Unless we find a workaround.
I can always do the free one, and then we can always do the free one, and then hop it on yours, and then hop it.
I don't need to. So again, I don't need to broadcast. So as long as we're doing it, that's fine. I don't need to broadcast to my channel. So that's a workaround. Okay, so looks like we have a little bit of life left. Then it's not going to be January and the lights turned off.
There's probably still the free one, so we'll just do the free one every couple.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Couple, what I mean? So,
we're going to be on every week around this time on Saturday,
Right.
And we have a book. We're going to show off books each week,
Right.
and we call it our Spec Rec
Hmm.
Flex.
Okay.
Yeah, Spec Rec Flex. What that means is Spec 1, speculation book. We're going to show off a speculation book.
Oh, okay.
And then 2, we're going to show off a recommendation book. So something we would recommend
Right.
people get, whether it's
Okay.
because of the artwork, because of the story, because
Okay.
it's an undervalued key or undervalued book. Okay, so we have a speculation book, a recommendation book, and then finally our flex book, just the stuff we're going to show off. This is like a show off book. Like I got
that one's up there, so I'm not touching that.
Yeah, we gotta kind of come up with something creative each week.
Yeah.
Until we run out of stuff to show off.
Right. That ain't gonna happen, with me or you. When we got all these damn short boxes all over us. So
yeah, I feel like that's a good, and it doesn't give us too much to like do during the week. You just need to get prepared 3 books. All right, so let's see your 3 books.
3. Oh, I had more than 3, but I got 1. Well, since we're doing spec one, I got 1.
All right, let's see your spec book.
Yeah, it's in another box.
I got mine right here.
Yeah. This one.
Ooh.
Yeah. This is a magazine.
Speculation book.
Well, it's a speculation book because if the movie does come, if the Vampy movie does come, this is for one of her major villains. So it's a Blood Red Queen of Hearts. It's her first appearance. Yeah, in issue 49. So it's a kind of undervalued book, but if like I said, if the movie does start, if the movie hype does happen, this is a major book that people will want to pick up because it's one of her major villains besides number 1 and 2. But
dang,
so
that's a this book right there.
Yeah, so this is one of her major villains. Yeah, so one of her major villains, and then so this is this would be the spec one. The flex one would be the one up there, but all right. So that was spec one. Or
that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, my speculation book is we're talking about Halloween, right? So it's Wolverine 12.
All right.
This is a key because I think it's Dracula's first. It's where Dracula meets the X-Men, or he goes up against Wolverine. And not that I think we'll see like Dracula in like an MCU movie or anything like that, but who knows?
Well, it would have been, but if they didn't cancel the Blade movie.
We didn't even get to that. Thoughts on that?
Thoughts on it? I mean, it was bound to happen because if you heard interviews and stuff like that about Blade 4, Blade 4, where he was, where Wesley Snipes was hard to work with, kind of cursed, kind of, from day one,
Oh no, they canceled the.
No, I know that. I'm saying, but the bad juju from the.
I see what you mean. It was like the Blade franchise was cursed. You're saying?
Yeah, because the Wesley Snipes, all that stupid stuff that happened with the last one before they went to Disney.
Yeah. Well, there's rumors. The reason so there's a lot of reasons, speculation around why Marvel took it off, because they were having troubles on rewrites of the script. Apparently, the actor
Mahershala wasn't agreeing with some of it too. I heard that too.
Script. They did several rewrites, and then it just got delayed, right? It kept getting delayed,
Yeah, yeah,
and then I think there was talk that he was backing out,
right.
and then you had Blade appear. You know, we had Wesley Snipes appear
Yeah,
in the Deadpool Wolverine movie,
yeah,
and to be honest, he looks great. He looks like he could
yeah,
still play great. You know, like if you were to tell me he was a vampire that didn't age,
right,
I would believe it because he
right.
looked jacked.
Yeah,
He did, he hasn't really aged all that much.
right, right,
And so there's talk now that he is going to, you know, he's going to be integrated into whatever Marvel projects for Blade that they're
right,
working on. So that's kind of exciting if they're going to go with Wesley Snipes rather than the previous,
right. Mahershala Ali. Yeah,
actually just bringing back the original Blade that everybody loves, right? So
right, right.
that would be cool.
Right. Yeah, that would be, but the problem the problem is, like you said, he hasn't aged, but eventually it's gonna catch up to him. Eventually it's gonna catch up. You know what I mean? It's like, uh, eventually that's just gonna catch up to him, and it's gonna be like, yeah, or people are gonna get tired of it and go, hey, he's slower now or whatever, But
Well,
I
he's the
don't think
daywalker, and I don't know if a daywalker, because I think the whole point of Blade is that he's part human, right?
right. And he would still, because if the Wolverine movie, he still looked because he still had gray and the beard and
Right.
everything.
So like he ages. He's not like a true
Right,
vampire in the sense that
right, right.
he's like uh always
Yeah,
immortal.
right,
He is mortal with like
right. I
just the
mean,
blood
if
the
they're
thirst.
gonna go with it, they'll probably do Blade's daughter like that they did in the comics right now. So you never know. So
Right.
yeah,
All
that
right.
would be interesting to see. I mean, I'm guessing that's why they canceled it in the first place was because of his appearance in the Deadpool movie, and then like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like,
And again, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a
yeah.
good thing. I think Wesley Snipes should play Blade.
But one thing about Wesley, he needs to pay his damn taxes every time. He needs to pay his taxes this time if he does get another big role, man. He needs to pay all his taxes this time and not get locked up like last time.
And I'd like to see him get like really jacked. I know he's
Mhm.
older, he's older. It might
Right.
not be
Can't be just like Tyson, man. Tyson's got
right,
jacked,
right.
so
Yeah, like
uh,
he's a old guy though, but just for that role, if he
yeah,
could just get like super jacked and
yeah,
I don't know, come out with the original the Blade
yeah,
costume
yeah.
where he's because he's wearing what in this one he was wearing like
Something like the
yeah, he was
original,
wearing
but it
like a
was a little
turtleneck or
different.
something like that.
Yeah,
It was just covered up, and I'm just like,
yeah,
dude, you got to show the guns.
yeah.
Blade's got to show the
Yeah.
guns. But that
Yeah,
was
but eventually it's gonna happen. Eventually, it's gonna either he's gonna either he's they're gonna eventually figure it out. But honestly, you know what I mean. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know what I mean. We have Blade movies, so it's
yeah.
not like we don't have them. It's just they're before Disney.
All right. What's your recommendation book?
Recommendation book. Okay, recommendation. Let's see. I got a recommendation. Actually, oh, the one recommended. Well, actually, yeah, this would. Yeah, Sinful Sally.
Why should people get this one?
No, it's just Joseph Michael Linsner's art in it. It's I just
Nice.
like Linsner's art. It's his early art. It's from the '90s, so yeah, it's decent art
Wow.
in it, and it's one of her. It's her first appearance, and it's a cheap first appearance, anyways. It's her first
Wow.
appearance, so yeah.
Is there nudity in that one?
Yes,
Yes.
kind of, kind of, but it's takes in his it's Linsner's universe of Dawn, Cry for Dawn, and all those. Yeah, it's in his little universe. So yeah,
Nice.
it's talking about angel and demons and stuff like that. Since it's
Okay.
Halloween, And this is a new pickup, anyways. I picked it up last week.
That's a great cover.
Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked it up last week, and then I remember. Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I remember it was her first appearance, so I didn't have it. So I had like a statue, so I needed at least this one behind it.
All
For
right,
his
Send
statue or
Boldly
whatever.
by
Yeah, Joseph Michael
Linsner.
Yep, and he's known for doing women. He's known for doing Red Sonja a lot. Vampy. He's known for doing a lot of even Conan, some Conan stuff too. So, but he
Nice.
came out when Crow the Crow, all those guys were like Brian Polito and all those guys. Yeah, so I was in that little group. So yeah, that's one. That was one. I mean, I got a couple. I just wanted to do something different. It wasn't vampy.
That's a good rec book.
Yeah.
Yeah, that period, like the whole sort of sexy bad girl,
Yeah.
during the 90s. That was it was interesting because it was there was a new segment in the market where it was just kind of like adult themed, adult themed kind of sexy books. And I don't know, those were
Yeah, but back then it was more more looks than story anyways. Now it's at least it has both. You know what I mean? Before it was just all because it's a scantily clad chick on the on the cover, but at least it now has meat and potatoes behind it, like everybody likes to say.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like sexy covers have always been.
Yeah, it's always sold. Even because in the 50s it was good girls. Now and then in the 90s, bad girls. So 2000s is a mixture of both.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've got a rec book here. It's a
yeah.
I guess people who follow me on my channel know that I'm a big Jim Lee fan, first and foremost, but I also love Neil Adams. I collect Neil Adams books. And so you'll probably see a lot of Neil Adams, Jim Lee, Brian Bolland, those kinds, and John Byrne, these kinds of books when I do recommendations or flex books. But this one is just one of my favorite sort of horror covers. I got here The Phantom Stranger.
I like those books too.
Number 16. And you got this sort of damsel in distress, and you've got all these.
If you want to say phantoms, maybe.
But the Phantom Stranger with all these sort of like horror, like I guess bad guys in the background.
Yeah.
Just a great kind of spooky cover there. You got this like demon witch or whatever with their the hands out. Just love this cover. Yeah, and just Neil Adams is just such just such goodness right there, So yeah, I would recommend this book. Just a nice cover by from the Bronze Age.
I always like the horror books from the Bronze Age. I always like the Golden Age too.
Absolutely.
But the Bronze Age I can afford more. Golden Age not so much.
Not so much. Yeah, Golden Age is like.
I mean, if you want to get one that's like a one, it's a little bit of you know what I mean. As long as you got a cover on it, you're okay. But anything else, it's a little pricey. You want like 8s and 9s, it's a little pricey.
Oh yeah. I'm always like, I want a Golden Age Superman book about. I mean, I have to start. Looking at like things that are really beat up, like 1.5s.
Yeah.
You're lucky to get a 3. That's real lucky getting
Right.
that. All right,
G-Man.
let's go
What's
with
going on,
hey
G?
G-Man. What's up, man? Let's go with your flex book,
Flex book, huh?
the show off
Flex
book.
book. Show off book, huh? Let's see. Let's see. I can. Oh, yeah. Well, why not? Show off. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Some art. Some art. If these actually, I got it for my birthday from the boys, from my brothers that I hang out with all the time, Steve and
Nice.
Sean and all them. I got the artist to do it at MegaCon, and he was Japanese artist. I always get his name. I always confuse his name. But yeah, so this is a nice little piece that
That's
I
a
got.
101, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And he goes if the same thing like how Peach he had a representative over there and said if you want, get him a colored cover and he'll go all nuts on the colored cover. So yeah. So he put some white on the moon and yeah. So this is a 1 of 1. So
That is nice.
yeah,
That is a flex book right there.
yeah. That's one. Yeah.
Very nice. All right. Well, my flex book isn't as impressive,
Oh,
but it's perfect for the theme that we're doing. And I have it was a book signed on October 16th, right around this time of year, in 1994. And what I got is Batman Madness, Legends of the Dark Knight Halloween special.
Oh, that's nice. I like the signatures on it.
Yeah, it's signed by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, who, were, I guess, promoting this book when it came out. And that's when they signed it, right around the launch of this book. And, Tim Sale he lived in the Pacific Northwest. He was a local to my area.
Right.
And he passed away, I think, 2 years ago. So, it was a big loss for the comic book community because he's such a dynamic artist, really just so talented. And, his style is so recognizable. It's really, and he did so much work on like the Batman, right? He did a lot of work. He was doing work with Jim Lee on Death Blow back in the day. So he's just been an artist from my era that just one of the best. Did a lot of work throughout the industry and just quality work. So yeah, that's my flex book right there. Double signature, Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale, Halloween Madness. Rest in peace, Tim. All right. Well, that was our first Spec Rec Flex edition.
Yeah, it was cool.
Like that. Come back for more next week.
We got more. We got plenty.
I'm just ready to show off his old collection right now. we gotta keep it. We gotta keep it in little spurts.
I showed off a little bit. For the 20 minutes.
We
did earlier.
Some of the stuff you got this week. I know you picked up some stuff, right?
Yeah, I picked up some stuff, but not much this week. I didn't pick up much. Yeah, I picked up, like I said, I picked up this. Yeah. So already showed that, and then picked up another copy of this.
Another copy.
Yeah, I had the other copy, but the other copy signed by Joe Jusko, actually the artist. Yep. So
you found another one and you picked it up.
Yeah, found another copy, so I picked it up.
Nice.
So yeah, So
Are you
yeah.
specking on that? What why'd you pick up
No,
the
no,
copy?
I just like the art on it. It's something different that he did. He
Okay.
does. He does like sword and sorcery stuff a lot,
Yeah.
and he does vampy a lot.
Yeah.
But I hardly see, you know, him doing horror. So and Santa
Gotcha.
Claus at that.
Gotcha. Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
nice.
yeah. So I picked up another copy. Yep. So
Did you go out with a specific intention of picking it up, or you just found it for a
I
good
just found
price?
it. I just looked in the box and I'm like,
Yeah.
I hardly see this book. And every time I pick up, I never see it. And I actually, finally picked one up. I'm like,
I do the exact
and then,
same thing, dude.
yeah,
I
yeah.
do
And
the
then I'm
exact
like,
same thing.
damn, I never see this book. And
Yeah.
now I'm seeing it everywhere. And then I
Yeah.
picked
This
up
is
some
my
witching
third
hours.
copy.
Yeah. I picked up some witching hours.
Oh, nice.
Yep. I picked
That's
up some
nice right
witching
there.
hours. And these are probably going to go to Sarah's mom. If people don't know, Sarah Frazetta's mom likes horror, like old school DC horror, like
Nice.
EC stuff, and so yep. So
Yep.
just
Perfect for this season right now. It's
yeah. So I just picked up
nice
a couple of
Halloween
things.
books
Yeah.
there.
So it's not. I didn't pick up much this week. Not this week. Yeah. So not much. Those are all the stuff I picked up at the con,
Mhm.
and then didn't have much. And then
What
I
are your
had a
thoughts
bunch
on
of
the what are your thoughts on the Peach Momoko Todd McFarlane Spawn this
eh,
the new
and it hit the biggest thing. It hit the hot list because of it. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Todd's cool, but Todd's art's not good, not the greatest. But he's a cool artist. And then like Peach wise, it's watercolor. It's cool. That's cool. It's different, something different from for a Spawn book. It's something different. But it drives me nuts that people are going nuts. So for Todd, dude, Todd's gonna be just like Stan, man. He'll sign your underwear if you give him underwear to sign. You know what I mean? It's like he'll sign anything. So it's like,
well,
is it worth?
Todd said he wouldn't sign books that he didn't like directly work on. He actually
Right,
has a
right.
rule. Like you have to give him a book of something related to what he's worked on. So if it's like
Yeah,
a Venom book, since he created Venom, he'll sign that. But if
right.
you give him like a Superman book, he never did anything for Superman, so he's not going to sign that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But if the older he gets, he might sign everything. So you never
I agree.
know.
I think if you took him something, he just like get out of my line. I'm signing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
you never know with them. It's just it is it worth what it is what it is, you know what I mean? If it's Todd's a great artist. Great, he's a great business person. But is it worth what it is, you know what I mean? Yeah, so that's the yeah.
did you go out and get this when it came out?
When I was younger.
No, this was from like I think 2 summers ago.
Oh, okay. Nah.
It's Todd Toys, and
Yeah.
they basically put this like it's about like what like 2 inches tall. It's a 2 inch
Okay.
little figure with
Like I
absolutely no
said, Todd's a
articulation.
great businessman. He likes making action figures. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's
But the cool thing is that he put a reprint of Batman
yeah.
608 second print Jim Lee cover.
Yeah, but the biggest problem with what the new DC figures that he is coming out with,
They're
they
not that
can't
great.
they're not that great, and they can't stand. If you open them and you try to stand them up like a normal action figure, it doesn't stand. It
Yeah,
falls over.
top heavy.
Yeah, unless you gotta stand for it, it's not gonna stand up straight.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's cool. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's cool that people like Peach's stuff, but and it's rare to get her signature. But I mean, I'm like this. You know what I mean? Being honest, I'm like, eh. Is it really worth? It's a new book on top of that,
Yeah.
and then is it gonna last? is the paper gonna last longer than the signature, or you know what I mean, or is is the signature gonna fade, or whatever it is,
I agree with you. I think Todd's book, the Todd
Yeah,
signed book, uh, that one is overpriced.
right,
I could care less for that book because you're right.
right,
He signs a gajillion Spawn books over
right.
the years. This New York City Comic Con exclusive, like
And that's not the only Spawn exclusive
exactly
that he had. He had
right,
another exclusive. So it's
right,
like if you couldn't get the Peach one, if
yeah,
you just wanted Todd signature, you could have got the other
yeah.
other book.
I
And
think
it's like
it'll
2 books.
I think it'll fade over time. You're absolutely right. Like it's 350 now, but if you were to try to flip that for 350, no one's gonna buy the book. Um,
Yeah.
but the Peach Momoko book, that book I would want because Peach
Hmm.
has no Spawn covers. That's her first Spawn
Right,
cover.
right. I wouldn't mind, like I said, I wouldn't mind picking it up for not the exorbitant amount of price of for what it is. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
So that's the thing. Like I think you can pick that book up, just the cover,
Right,
but the exclusive signature book, that's the one
right,
that's limited, right? So you can pick
right,
up the Spawn Peach Momoko cover. It's just not going to be signed.
right,
And same with the Todd book, right? You can pick up the Todd
right,
cover. It's just
right,
and without get, but I think in terms of like the one actually that people want is the Peach Momoko book because that Peach Momoko
right.
Spawn cover is badass.
Yeah, it's different.
Huge Spawn.
You never see a Spawn cover that looks like that in general in the first place. So it's
Right.
like it's and then if you seen it, like you sent me the link to it, she water painted it. It's not even it's you know what I mean. It's
It
not like
seriously is like a great cover. Like
yeah.
I'm trying to find it right now. Here we go. Look at this cover. I mean, who wouldn't want this book?
Hmm.
It's so like
Yeah,
it's such a good first of all, like you got to understand like Peach's style.
yeah,
She has a great horror style, right?
right,
But then like she's doing Spawn in this like
right.
watercolor style.
And,
It's just
and then in the Japanese style on top of that, and then manga style. So it's like it's different.
yeah, and she can definitely do like she has her little she can do the cute lady figures and all that.
Yeah.
And some of her criticism was like, well, can she do like Superman? Can she do like the superheroes? Like,
Pro
she
You
can do
see
it.
it now.
She
She did
can
a
definitely
Spawn. So
she
it's
did
like
Spawn.
it's not like but the problem is people like the Peach haters. I, I'm I'm an in between, you know what I mean? I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like I like her stuff, and then some of her stuff is like, I'm on the fence, you know what I mean? Of her. But I
I
res
cooled off on her stuff. I used to really like Peach Momoko. Like I wanted to buy everything,
right,
get all her covers. But then she just kept doing a lot of mediocre like
right. But
covers.
there's like I said, there's certain covers that you could tell she took time on, like the Spawn cover, you can tell she took time on it. But there, like I told you earlier, signature wise and her 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 work wise, I think she's stretching herself too thin. That's the biggest
Absolutely.
thing
Yeah.
because now everybody wants Peach. Now everybody wants something Peach.
Yeah.
The problem is, yeah,
She's like
same
has to
thing.
do like all these covers, right? Like Marvel
Right,
wants her to like do like 10, 13 covers a month and like
right, and
you're
then
right, she's stretching.
that's the same thing like Perillo with Dynamite now. It's because he used to be the D artist cover person. Now he's the A cover person. So it's almost every day, every every Vampy A cover is a Perillo cover now. In the past, like the early 2000s, he was either artist E or artist H. But now since he's artist A, his stuff ain't gonna be worth as much. You know what I mean? So, since he's stretched so thin, he's stretched thin too. He does his wife Carla, both of them are stretched super thin. It's like you can. I mean, his art is still, he's a master. He's still good. It's just it's too much. You know what I mean? I understand why, because people love his art. You know what I mean? It's same thing with Peach. People love their art. I understand they need the work. You know what I mean? But it's like, don't take everything that comes to you, or whatever it is. Just be choosy about what you do.
I think you said something interesting, and I want to kind of focus on it.
Yeah.
You said Todd's art is not that great.
Yeah, but I'm not a hater, but I don't like, my biggest thing. I don't the Todd stuff is not horrible. You know what I mean? But at least he can draw feet, not like Liefeld. Okay, so I'm more a Liefeld hater than anything, but because he can't draw feet. But
I think you bring up a great point. So if you were to interview like 8th grade me, which is when Todd was doing all that stuff for Marvel.
Right.
8th grade me loved Todd McFarlane. I thought 8th grade me was like, Todd McFarlane was the greatest artist of all time.
Yeah, but and then you
so
you learned about more art. You learned about more artists, and
right.
You're like,
and then you grow up.
Whoa, hey, wait a minute.
You grow up, and then you I still love comic book art, but I don't like Todd McFarlane is not a great artist. Like, you go and look at his interior work.
He's a artist wise, he's a
solid artist.
Solid artist.
He's foundationally sound. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
But in terms of like talent, he's not the most talented artist.
Yeah,
he's just lucky. He got lucky.
Yeah, he got lucky, and he's but he's the biggest thing is that a lot of people don't give him credit for. They do give him credit for, but he's a smart business person.
Oh yeah.
That's the biggest. That's the biggest
voice.
Thing.
Yeah.
He's a smart business person, and he knows how to, he knows how to sell himself. Just like Stan did. You know what I mean? Same thing. They know how to sell themselves.
He's a gabber too. He likes to talk.
Yeah, right. So that's the biggest
he likes
thing.
to hear himself talk. The thing about Todd, though, is he has some of the most iconic covers during my comic era. And you got to respect
Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man 300.
300, 301.
Right. And then what was it? He's the one that did the claw, the Wolverine, and then Hulk and the claws. So so that's another one.
That's another one.
Yeah, it's like a lot of stuff that people didn't like. He was an innovator at the time when people wanted to stay old school still. So he innovated a lot of ideas. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing, that he's still innovating. So that's the biggest thing that he's offering to the comic book genre in general, or collecting in general. That
he's a great artist. Let's walk it back a little. I didn't mean to intimate that he's a horrible artist.
No. Well, none of us are saying he's horrible. He's a decent artist.
Yeah.
He's a decent artist, but there's a lot of his counterparts that are a lot.
Absolutely. Like, he's not in my top 20. I think he's in my top 25. He's not in my top 10.
Right.
He's not in my top 20.
Right.
Comic book artists.
Right.
But in terms of his presence and impact and his popularity, his books command a lot of, it commands a high price. There's a high demand for his books.
Right.
I mean, that Hulk cover, the Wolverine Hulk cover, is one example like that.
Yeah, that's an expensive one.
Book in high.
Yeah, 300. A lot of those books are. A lot of his Spider-Man run is expensive. A lot of his, even his. Yeah, he did Hulk run for a little bit too, and his Hulk stuff is expensive. So it's like, don't get me wrong, his early, you know what I mean? He innovated early.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
He's a great cover artist. Like, you cannot take that away from him, because he is what he is, because he just He
Yeah.
was just like doing it, you know, like
So
the hottest covers.
he was cover artist before cover artists were a thing. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
yeah, he was
Absolutely.
before Art Jones, before all these guys that were doing only covers now. But
And he's still doing great covers. I mean, you look at
yeah,
I mean, taking nothing away from he does like Spawn covers here and there, you know, every
right,
now and then, and they're
right,
great covers. Like
right, yeah.
the one he did for Batman Spawn, that was a
Yeah,
great cover.
but the biggest
Yeah.
thing with him is the biggest the biggest idea. He's still at heart. He's still a collector, and he's still one of us. So he goes, "What would I? Well, you know, what would a collector want to see on a cover?" And he always that's one
Delivers,
thing
yep.
that I can give to him that he does that a lot. That he goes, "Hey, what's a collector want to see, or what's what's a comic book fan want to see?" He's still a fan. That's the biggest thing with him that he's still a fan of comics. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of artists get burnt out and say, "Hey, I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not as big as a fan in comics anymore or whatever." But he still is, and he's for how long he's been in the game, he still is. So that's respectful. You know what I mean? And like I said, he's like you said, he's not in nowhere near my top 20 either. So it's like he's down in the 20, at least in that row, but it's like
All right,
he's
I gotta
not the
get one
Mount
thing
Rushmore.
while we're talking about Todd. Let me get one thing.
Yeah.
Just dropped a bunch of stuff. Hang on.
Yeah.
All right. Make sure nothing's damaged there. All right, we're good. So I picked up this during the summer.
Yeah.
Did I show this off last time?
No. But I know, yeah, that's one of the Todd's famous covers. Yeah.
Todd's iconic cover, and Todd put out this great figure, and it's basically this posed.
It's basically his cover, pretty much. Yeah, it's basically
the right
his cover.
angle. You see it right there?
Yeah.
If you get the right angle, it's like that cover.
Yeah.
And I just had to have it. I was just like, this was 8th grade me, like,
yeah.
I mean, get that. I got it for 45. What was it? $45 at Best Buy.
Right.
And
the funniest thing about funniest thing about Todd himself, that he swipes himself a lot. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
He swipes his own covers a lot. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, he did his Spawn one on this one, like right? Spawn 300 was this.
Yeah, and he swipes his own covers all the time, so it's kind of funny. Yeah.
All right, just put this back up here for a minute. Sorry, I had to look at my pajamas. Pajamas. All right.
Yep. But like I said, like how I was saying, Perillo covers, like this is one of my all-time favorites of Perillos.
Make yourself big. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, these are like a couple of. These are like before he started becoming a cover, Dynamite and stuff like that. And he was doing exclusives for a while.
Yeah, that is a nice cover.
Yeah, and it was the Deja Doris and Vampy crossover. So,
jeez.
Yep. So that, and then like he did like this one. Yeah. So.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, this was the Valentine's one. So it's like, he's a great.
One? Is there a naked lady on that one?
Yeah, she is the heart. The heart and the hands are covering. So and it's supposed to be Cupid on the bottom here.
Oh, on the bottom, yeah.
Yeah,
she
supposed to be Cupid. Yeah,
she murdered.
So murdered Cupid pretty much. But yeah, so I had Perillo sign these, and then that's the style I like. You know what I mean? It's the oil painted style because you guys already know because since I like Frazetta or whatever, so it's like I'm gonna like the oil painted style, like Jusko, him, And then the old school artists like the Jose Gonzalez, Inrich Torres, and all those. Those are the vampy artists. Those are the ones that are, my type of
Hey, Miss
artists.
So, what's up? So Miss So's in the chat.
Yep. Yeah, she was gonna linger for the first show for a while, and then
We got Lok Wen in the house as well. Thanks for joining, Lok. Lok is a great artist as well. He's I mean, I want to commission him for some work.
Yeah, we've met a lot of good. We met a lot of great artists on the Asian Heritage Month. You know what I mean? Those guys are crazy good artists, and I still got the email. I got my email package, and I got unpacked it. I just need to figure out where I'm gonna put that card that I got.
Yeah, E-Man wants to send me a Jim Lee signed poster. It's big. Like,
yeah.
I was like, I'll just next time in the Barrie area, I'll just come pick it up from you. And he's like, all right. So
yeah. So I mean, eventually you're gonna end up meeting him, or eventually we're gonna get an interview him. So eventually, I know a couple. No, I mean, Jim.
Oh, Jim Lee. Eventually, yeah.
But I probably can get a couple of people that I know. I know a lot of those. I know a couple of friends that kind of work for him. Like whenever he does signature, so I may be able to get a good word in for us.
If I could interview Jim Lee, I mean that would be like.
That would be That's a bucket list.
That's like a bucket list type thing.
So that's like me want to interview Joe Jusko or any of those guys. Those are a couple of my bucket list ones. So,
I've met Jim and I've talked to him and I've got books signed by him.
Right. But that was before you did this.
But that's different. It's like I paid for that, and as great as it was,
right.
It
not as personal.
Didn't feel like we really connected.
Yeah, I got you. Not as personal.
But if he were to come on our channel and just impart his wisdom as the president of DC, and it would just be great to just ask all these questions you have and get those answers. That would just be a dream come true for me, just to do like a kind of career retrospective interview, ask him about just his thoughts on his career and his favorite books and
he probably got a bunch of favorite books too. He probably got like books that he's worked on. You know what I mean? It's all of them probably got list of books, their favorites.
Jim's a big LA Dodgers fan. He's at the World Series games right now.
No, that's cool.
Yeah. Do you know how much those tickets cost? Where in terms of where he's sitting? It's like $30,000 a ticket. It's ridiculous. Just like, oh my gosh, you got to be like a billionaire to watch.
Well, he's the DC's president, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's probably has like season tickets or something like that, because he really is like a big time Dodgers fan. He goes to so many games.
I've seen him on and then I miss
great.
I missed him. I missed it when he does. I loved when he did like live, drawing streams and stuff like that, but he doesn't do that no more, because since he got no time for it anymore since he's the president.
I'd love to see him do like a Shohei Ohtani like Dodgers cover. How awesome would that be?
That would be cool.
I would buy that.
Yeah, but
I'd buy anything Jim Lee did.
Yeah, but he'll probably do some stuff, something Dodgers related, probably.
That would be cool. Yeah. They win the World Series. That'd be cool if you did. All right, Delaman. Yeah, we like you. We like you now. We're a Dodgers channel here. I don't. Jeff doesn't watch baseball, so he's
Well,
Because I love
I
them.
haven't watched. I used. I love. I rather play it than watch it. But yeah. I mean, I love watching it live better than I watching it on television because I've always liked going to the games and stuff.
Yeah.
Used to go every once in a while. So
Yeah. As long as you can root for any team you want, but
but
just don't be a Yankees fan. Yankees fans are the
uh,
worst, man.
I used to live in live in LA. So yeah,
Yeah.
I know the
Yeah, you have
Dodgers
all
thing.
these Yankees fans who pretend like they are hardcore like baseball fans when they're just like
The hardcore
I mean,
Yankee fans.
you never
That's
you
what they
didn't grow up
are.
in New York.
Yeah.
You probably live in New York now for your job. But you didn't grow up in New York, and all the you don't even like you get the history of the Yankees, but outside of that, you have
Yeah.
no absolutely nothing about the game. It's like these
Right.
like poser type baseball fans. That's what a
Right.
Yankee fan is, a total poser fan. Because
Well,
all they talk about
the
is like
the newer ones, the older hits are, are a little different.
yeah, if you're an older fan, I can understand, but like a lot of
Yeah.
the newer ones that
Yeah.
they just
Oh,
wear
they just because they're winners
yeah, they're just
and
like,
stuff.
oh yeah, we're the
Yeah.
Yankees.
Yeah.
No, you don't live in the Bronx. You live probably if you do live in New York, you're probably living in like Manhattan
Yeah.
somewhere, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or upstate New York or
The
something.
it's my boy Dell. That's who this. Yeah. So yeah, he's a Dodgers guy for sure. He grew
Yeah,
up in LA. So yeah.
that's respect, man. The Dodgers
Yeah.
are the
Yeah.
better team, and they're showing
Yeah.
it. And I didn't grow up in LA. I'm a
Otani's on
Mariners fan,
Dodgers.
but I really the Mariners suck, so I gotta root for somebody, and I'm rooting for the Dodgers
Well,
this season.
eventually these guys are gonna get better. Eventually these teams are gonna get better. The ones that are in our towns.
Well, so let me talk about the Dodgers for a minute.
Yeah.
People don't realize uh, the Dodgers are at the start of because they've got Otani for what? They've signed him for 15 years. So this is the first of a
Ah,
15-year journey with Otani.
right.
And if they win a World Series this year, they're only getting better next year. They're not really losing many people,
Right.
right? They're going to probably re-sign Teoscar, but they're getting Rory Sasaki next year, who's like basically the best pitcher in Japan. And they're going to have a rotation of Sasaki, Yamamoto, Otani, and
Jesus.
that incredible bullpen. So
Yeah.
if you think if the Dodgers win this year, and if you think they're going to, you know, kind of
Sit on
drop
their
off
laurels.
next year,
Yeah.
they're getting
Yeah.
better. They're going to
Yeah.
be better next year
Yeah.
because they have Freeman signed, they have Betts signed for um, the rest of their careers, and um, they always have a strong farm system again, and they're just going to they have a pipeline to all the Japanese talent. If you're a
Right.
Japanese prospect right now and you're eyeing the MLB, you want to join Otani and Sasaki, right? You want to join this
Right.
so again, they get first dibs on all the Japanese talent coming over.
Yeah, because they got they got a Dodgers team in Japan, or was their practice team or whatever it is out in Japan or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. I mean, so I feel bad for the Yankees who think, oh yeah, this is the first year of our dynasty. Forget it. Like if you lose to the
Dude,
Dodgers, the
they've
series,
already had dynasties
yeah,
anyway, and then plus
yeah, yeah.
what's
The dynasty
ironic
that they're trying to get it has to be
get
built around
yeah
Judge, right?
yeah
And Judge sucks.
yeah, but
Like,
not
Aaron
only
Judge
but the
sucks,
biggest
man.
thing, the funniest thing is the Dodgers used to be a New York team or whatever it was.
Brooklyn, yeah, Brooklyn
Yeah,
Dodgers.
Brooklyn, yeah. So they
That's when
used
they
to be,
were.
yeah,
That's when this rivalry started. Yep,
yeah.
Brooklyn
So
versus
it's kind of
Bronx.
yeah, and then now, yeah. So it was the yeah. Now, either you were if you were in New York, either you were a Mets person or a Yankees person. It's either or, depending on
I know a
where
bunch of
you.
people who are both, from
Yeah.
New York. It's like
Yeah.
they'll don the Yankees cap first and then
Yeah.
ditch it for
Yeah.
the Mets when the Mets are doing well. So
Right. So yeah, we all know people like that. Oh, this team's doing good here. Yeah,
bandwagon
we all
fans.
know. Yeah.
All right, let's get off our sports soapbox because there are probably a lot of New York
Mm.
East Coast people that are watching
Nah.
us and
Well, some people
turn
don't
turning
even
us
watch
off right
sports. Some
now.
people are just watching like comic books. A lot half of them. So, but it's like a lot of this stuff is cool, but like yeah, I was showing off some other books earlier and telling them the significance of them. So, like this one's one of my favorites. So yeah, yeah. So the story behind this cover, oh, hold on. So is the artist is Enrich Torres, and then he actually took a pic. It's actually a so he took it a photo reference. I actually have his art book, and he actually talks about it. The photo reference. The funny thing is the monster's actually the artist, actually Ingrid, and he used him himself as the reference. And the model's actually this was actually a bed, like a bed. The top,
Yeah, it looks like a bed.
yeah, like the bed. But it's a actual tombstone. But the actual picture it shows is it's a night not a nightstand, but
Bed's
a headboard.
headboard. Yeah,
Yeah. So it was a headboard. So he's actually standing behind the model, and then he used it as a reference for the painting. So that's how this cover came to be.
that's a great cover.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite horror covers he's done. But there's like he's done like the Psycho magazines. He's done a lot of them. He's like he's done a lot of those covers, and like a bunch of those covers. He's still doing work. It's just now he's just known as Torres. Like if you see like fine art like galleries and stuff, if you see Torres, it's pretty much him. It's that him pretty much. He does. Yeah, so he had Frazetta's influence on him, and he actually had like Frazetta actually drew like a little panther for him, and then actually sent it to him. So it's kind of cool. Like in the '90s, that was kind of neat to read in the art, like the art books. Like I said, I'm trying to do that stuff, but trying to do a video with all that information. But sometimes it's figuring out how to condense it into like a 20-minute video is kind of hard.
We got to do one of those at some point where
Yeah,
we go over our top 10 artist lists.
yeah, we can
Yeah.
do that. We can probably do. Yeah, we'll plan it. We'll do like your top 10, my top 10, and then everybody probably won't be surprised. It's probably be a bunch of Vimpy artists, but that
Yeah, I mean everybody knows that you're Frazetta, I'm Jim Lee,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I don't know things outside of that maybe, unless
yeah. But it's the Frazetta's top, and then it's Torres, and then it's actually the Torres and Jose Gonzalez are on equal footing because they were both friends, and they would use each other like each other's work with each other. Like this is a Jose Gonzalez's stuff.
nice.
Yeah, so this is Gonzalez's stuff, but he passed in the early 2000s. But yeah, so he would use
That's
either
beautiful.
like color pencils, pretty much.
That's beautiful. Is
Yeah.
that something? I mean, that's just a variant cover, right?
Yeah, it's just a variant cover from early either this was early here. Yeah, it's early Harris comics or early Harris. So early 90s. But he's known for doing the interiors from issue 18 or 19. Like Gonzalez was known for doing like if you ask who defined her in the early 60s, yeah, Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
So because Gonzalez did a lot of like beautiful art, like made her look actually like model is. So yeah, so everybody says Gonzalez is one of the top guys that made her who she is today. If it wasn't for him for the last couple issues.
Yeah. Who do you see as like a good casting for Vampirella?
Casting, there's a couple. There's one actress that like people say like not known not known or she has to have the amazing chest,
put up
amazing
that
legs.
Vampirella cover you showed off earlier.
With the this one,
the whole body one.
This one, yeah.
No, the slab. The slab.
The slab. Oh, the slab. Yeah, the slab. Hold on, let me grab the slab again. This one.
That one.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be my. That's the kind of emperor I'd want to see. You know, like.
Yeah.
Like, just like.
Because these were all these covers were like Inrich would use photo of models, and
right.
actually so
yeah.
Well, one of the famous.
She likes tacos. It looks like.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And she
looks like a real. It's a real.
Tacos.
It's a real. Yeah, real female, pretty much. It's like, but she's there's a couple of models that are known, like what was it? Dave Stevens' wife. What the hell? Brent Stevens. So she's known for.
She was
She was known for modeling, Vampy.
Mm-hmm.
Like there were a bunch of there were a bunch of models before, and there was a couple of actresses that were going to play her in the early 90s. But honestly, now I wouldn't mind seeing. There's a couple of unnamed ones, like in Wolverine and Deadpool, like the Time Bureau, one of the Time Bureau girls in there that was at the desk. I forget the name of the actress or whatever it was, but she seems to be one. And then I said the girl from Terrifier 3 or Terrifier 2, Lauren Lavera, would make a good decent, but everybody makes fun of me because saying her height is not there. But my biggest thing is if they can act, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's the biggest thing is that and then the other thing is one of her powers is to make you think that she's not who she is, making you think of she's somebody else. So it doesn't matter what actress who.
I think Olivia Munn.
Yeah, she would make a decent one.
Munn would have made a great Vampirella. Yeah. She would make a great Vampirella. I know she recently
she's
battling breast cancer, and so she had.
But it doesn't, like I always say, it doesn't matter what the actress looks like, as long as the actress can act, and as long as the actress can, actually put her.
Olivia Munn can act. I mean, she's a great actress for sure.
Yeah,
I can see her playing a really good Vampirella.
Yeah, there's because a lot of people said Salma Hayek when she was younger. You know what I mean? So, and then there's the Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah, but there's Dusk Till Dawn. There's a Dusk Till Dawn TV show, and the actress that was playing Selma's role, everybody was saying in the fan clubs, and then we're saying her.
I think Selma would make a great Vampirella, but she's got her accent.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
I don't think
That's the
I don't
biggest.
think
Yeah,
Vampirella would have a Mexican accent.
but that's the biggest thing. Yeah, and then she's not even from. She's not even from the from here. She's from another planet. So that's kind of. I mean, you never know.
Oh,
She could
maybe
have
yeah,
landed
maybe
it.
that would work. Maybe like a some kind of
Yeah, she
accent would
landed in
work.
Mex. Yeah,
Yeah,
she landed in Mexico or something like that. Or
maybe. Yeah.
something. Yeah, yeah. But it doesn't. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. But I need to come up with a list. But like the, like I said, Lauren Lavera, I wouldn't mind seeing. But everybody says she's short, so it's like, yeah. And then there's a couple, there's a couple actresses, but
Yeah.
there because there was a couple of them that were originally supposed to play her. Like I can't remember the art. Next week I'll bring it up, but yeah, she was supposed to play her, but she ended up modeling her on magazines for like 80, issue 80, issue 90, a couple of issues. Was this actress, and she was originally supposed to play her in a Hammer, because Hammer Films picked it up, and originally was supposed to be in the 60s, so it's supposed to be a movie, and then that got scrapped. So she didn't get she had the role, and then they had it because James Warren had okayed it, but it never happened. So they took a bunch of pictures of her in the outfit and used them as covers towards the end of the run.
Let's focus on something that is coming out. We've got a couple months left in 2024. I don't know if there are any superhero movies coming out.
Well, Venom just came out this week.
That's right, Venom came out, and I've heard some really good things about it. It appears they're going to go full like symbiote universe.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
gonna be a bunch of symbiote
and then I heard the Null thing and all that other stuff. So that's all the Donny Cates stuff is in the movie. So that's
Null's
cool.
coming, right? Null's kind of teased in the. There's also rumors, we're gonna see the black suit on what's his name?
Tom Holland.
That Tom Holland's gonna get venomized at some point.
Yeah, and then the thing I've been hearing was about. I mean, I heard good and bad on Venom on both, but they said symbiote fatigue on the movie, because a lot of people said there were too many of them in the movie, like too many symbiotes in the movie. I mean, I don't really know, but yeah,
too many symbiotes. Come on.
Yeah.
A younger Salma Hayek for sure. Yeah. So I'm not disagreeing with that. I just again, like she has to play the character, and I don't know if the accent would.
Yeah.
Maybe who knows? Maybe Vampirella does have an accent. I don't.
What? Not in my head, but okay.
Not in your head, right? Not in anybody's head.
Yeah.
But I'm sure she could make it work.
Yeah, but there's a couple actresses that I'll make a list. You know what I mean? That'd be a good idea. But I've always had a little list, anyways. But every time that actress would age out, you know what I mean? That's the problem. Is if this movie doesn't get made, they get aged out. So it's like and then like I've had a couple actresses that I wouldn't mind playing her sister, like Draculina. She's a blonde and in a black outfit. So there's a couple of blonde actresses I wouldn't mind playing her and whatever else. But there's a bunch of roles, you know what I mean? Like her, the villains, like all this stuff. So
what are you most looking forward to coming out that's like, I guess, scheduled next year, or what movie or event or project are you most looking forward to?
I haven't. I mean, I'm interested to see where. I mean, it's gonna be a while, but I'm interested to see where this what was it? Doom thing's gonna go. Which way that's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, what was it? Agatha stuff was kind of cool. You know what I mean? I watched a little bit of it. I haven't watched all of it yet, but it's decent. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing where all that goes. You know what I mean? Where that's going to lead to. I mean,
Okay.
I'm interested in a little bit of everything, but not. I mean, whatever's coming down the line. But being honest, so
So everything. You just into everything.
yeah. I mean, for now, but I'm not a hater yet. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everybody hates it for before it even comes out. Hates it before it even comes out. So it's like,
What
why
was
are
the
you
thing
hating
you
it?
enjoyed most this year out of all the things you watched? Because I know you watched. You said you watched.
Terrifier 3 this weekend or
Yeah,
last
yeah,
week,
yeah,
last Monday.
yeah.
Yeah, so I enjoyed it because if you like old school, slashers and stuff, yeah, that's it's really cool that they're refreshing the slasher genre. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, there's issues with it. I mean, all those type of movies have a little bit of issues of writing, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But I mean, if you're into Jason, if you're into Michael Myers, all that stuff, Art the Clown is upgraded version of them, pretty much. He's a gorier version of them. It's like,
Oh,
yeah, it's like if you haven't seen the first one, it's like, you know what I mean. What the first movie is known for is a female hanging upside down, and him taking a saw and sawing her right in half. So that if you guys haven't seen Terrifier 1, that's a spoiler, but whatever. it's and it's already on 3, but it's like there's two has like every movie has a scene that everybody always talking about or walking out of. You know what I mean? Like 2 was this bedroom scene. 3 was because he said it. He's gonna take it a little. The producer or the was gonna take it a little further. So this time I didn't have no walkouts because there was only 3 people in the theater when I went because it was a Monday. So there are people at work. So so it wasn't too bad. Nobody walked. All 3 of us. Nobody walked out. So everybody stayed and watched. Everybody knew what was coming because they're known for gore. These Terrifying movies are known for gore. So I enjoy it. It was fun. It was fun. It was a fun Christmas horror movie. So I enjoyed it. If you enjoy those type of movies, yeah, it's a decent it's a decent movie. But because I used to be a kid, I used to everything and their mom used to scare the crap out of me. So, and then when I got older, I'm like, why am I scared of this stuff? It's practical effects. It's fake. So why am I afraid? So, I I put myself through. I still can't watch it. I still can't watch the It movies. The straight to TV ones.
Pennywise.
Yeah, the Pennywise ones. I still can't watch that because it still freaks me out. Well,
It's a messed up book.
yeah, but the books really messed up. But when I was a kid, I wouldn't be able to get past a couple of scenes in the movie. But at least now as an adult, I can get past them a little bit better. But I still don't. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the movies that scared the living crap out of me when I was
Oh
younger.
yeah.
So.
Who was it? It was Timothy.
Yeah, it was um yeah, it
Tim.
was yeah, I know
He played
I
a.
keep
That was a. He played
yeah.
Pennywise so brilliantly. I mean, it was just like so
Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
scary. I
Yeah.
totally know what you mean. I think the new Pennywise, it was when they remade it, it wasn't as scary.
Yeah, but
I mean, the
yeah,
TV
but
version was super scary.
yeah, yeah, that movie made that's the highest grossing horror movie ever. It's
It
it. Yeah.
really?
But yeah, but now this is now Terrifier 3 is coming. Well, I
Tim
think it's
Curry.
gonna.
Tim Curry was the actor
Yeah,
who played
yeah.
the
But
original.
he's played a Rocket Picture Horror Show. He's played the transvestite person in. If you haven't, If you haven't seen Rock Picture Horror, I don't.
Rocky Horror
You've been
Picture Show,
living under, yeah, you've been living under a rock. But
yeah.
yeah, he's played the butler in Clue. He's played a lot of roles.
Yeah,
So,
rest in peace. Then you know,
yeah,
Tim Curry, rest in peace. He played that clown brilliantly, and
yeah,
scared the bejesus out of pretty much
everybody.
Every kid.
Yeah, every kid never didn't want to go take baths no more or showers because he would come out of the shower. It's like, maybe not. Yeah. Yeah, but the book was a lot more messed up than the movie is.
Yeah,
If
the
you
book
ever
was.
end up,
I mean, these kids were seriously messed up because they're basically being psychologically tortured by an alien.
Yeah.
Of all
well,
things.
I mean, yeah, but in the book and in the show or straight to TV movie, it did the same thing towards the end, but there's a lot of the
messed up scenes in the book.
Yeah, a lot of messed up scenes in the book that they couldn't do on TV.
Bring to TV or movie.
Yeah.
You just can't. They kind of like, I guess in the movie you'd have to like, allude to it, but you couldn't. You bring those scenes in.
Yeah.
Stephen King has a really warped mind.
That
we love. We love Stephen's warped mind.
Yeah,
that is one thing I'm looking forward to. Now we're talking about it and Stephen King. I'm looking forward to the Gunslinger or Dark Tower.
Yeah.
They're bringing the Gunslinger to, I think, Netflix or something like that, right?
That'd be cool. That one, because the Dark Tower. Yeah, the Dark Tower. I like the book. Don't get me wrong. I like the comic or whatever. It was better. But the movie wasn't horrible, you know what I mean? But a lot of people didn't like it.
The movie looked like it was horrible.
Yeah.
They tried to like fit a really complex novel.
That's the same thing with King's Son too, with Lock and Key, because the Lock and Key the Lock and Key show, if you've seen it on Netflix, was actually originally a comic book that was called Lock and Key, and by his son, because his son he used a pseudonym for his books because he didn't want to be known as Stephen King's son. So and then they had something come on A&E, was a Christmas horror thing that he did, and the book is a lot worse than the book is a lot worse than the show did it. But a lot of crazy stuff that happened in the book that they couldn't show. That I would they canceled the show right away because they didn't let the show, because if you read the book, they alluded to a lot of stuff, like you said. They had to allude to a lot of stuff, and it made it a little iffy, and they jumped around a lot because the book jumped around a lot.
Yeah. So I can tell you this one thing, like I watched a lot of Stephen King movies based on the books.
Yeah.
But I've also read the books before I watched the movies.
Right.
And
sometimes it ruins the movie for you.
There hasn't been a movie yet that is better than the book. Right. I've yet to see a movie yet that's better than the book.
Yeah.
Like a prime example is like Kubrick's The Shining. The Shining is a great movie.
Yeah, King was pissed because he didn't want Kubrick to direct it originally. He was pissed that.
Well, it's a totally different. Like the book and the movie are totally different.
Yeah.
Like the movie is great as a movie, but it only, in terms of the story, it only kind of touched upon a lot some of the stuff that, I mean, they left a lot of stuff out
but any King movie that they did, they always did what was it, the car one, Christine, they left a bunch of stuff out of that. And then even Carrie, they left a bunch of stuff out of that. A lot of because a lot of
Misery.
them they yeah,
Misery
Misery.
is another
They
one they did, like,
yeah, put
that the I think Misery is one of his, like, best,
yeah,
best books, and
right,
I not to take anything away from the movie is great, but again,
right,
like you said, they just leave a lot of the
right.
sort of the more,
Risque
horrific.
stuff.
We're not trying to give away, like, we're obviously
Yeah,
being very careful, but, like, some of the more,
yeah, yeah,
um, traumatic things
yeah.
that happen in the book are not there, and
Right,
the details around some of those events are, like, not in the movie, and that's what you remember from the book. You remember these, like, scenes,
yeah,
the details around, King's description of it, and, so, I mean, that's what I'm saying, like, I think books oftentimes are just, especially in this, when we're talking about movies that are based on books, right?
right,
It's just better to read the book because the movie's never gonna, you're
right.
gonna get like a visual sort of, what should I
Never
say?
gonna
You're
live
gonna
up
get,
to it.
yeah, you're gonna get a whole, sensory experience from watching a
Right,
movie,
right,
but in terms of actual depth of being entertained, or in King's case being like horrified, you're not going to get that scale from watching a movie.
right.
But that's one thing. Like, if you split the Gunslinger into a serial, right? You're making
Mhm.
episodes, like, let's say 20 episodes for the first book. If you're doing Gunslinger in 20 episodes, or even 12, like, really thoughtful episodes, that's going to be worth watching, right? Because
Yep.
then you're literally doing each book as a season. Like, you
Right.
could do Gunslinger as a season, Drawing of the Three as a second season. Um,
Or
what's the third one?
another one that I forget, Cujo. He did. I forgot he did Cujo. Yeah.
Cujo is a great book.
Yeah.
That's another book that I don't think you could. I mean, getting a disease Saint Bernard. I guess you could do a CGI these days, but I
Really.
never watched that movie, the original movie, the Cujo movie.
Right.
I would imagine it just is not what the book would be. The book is
Yeah, because
just
there was. I
so,
don't think it was a Saint Bernard that got it. I think it was a. I forgot what dog. Yeah, I've seen it before. I
there's a
just
Saint
forgot
Bernard,
what.
because the Saint Bernards are huge.
Yeah,
Just like,
yeah, yeah,
and it was just like a monster
yeah,
terrorizing this little it was basically a family and like the
yeah,
people next door, right? Like, it was just
yeah,
this rabid, diseased, mad Saint Bernard
yeah,
that was just like bloodthirsty.
yeah,
Yeah, it's horrible. But anyway, like, I think the thing I'm really looking forward to is that Gunslinger. And again, go and
yeah,
get the comics, because the Jay Lee, Stephen
mhm,
King, like,
yeah,
combo pack of the sort of the it, they're it's just added. It's pretty much the story in the Gunslinger, but it's like they're
right,
showing snippets of different time frames or timelines. And
right,
King wrote most of that stuff, where he approved the writing around
right,
some of
right,
those Dark Tower Gunslinger series comic books, and
right.
they're brilliant. At
Yeah,
least the
like
ones Jay Lee did. I can't speak for the ones outside Jay Lee did.
right, right.
All the ones
But
Jay Lee did.
like I said, I enjoy his son stuff. His son's get like on his coattails. Well, he did comic books first, and then he did story. Then well, he did books and comics, but the comics the son's known for is the Lock and Key stuff. So
Really.
yeah, and I
Do,
love the Lock and Key
do you
stuff.
know? Do you know Stephen King wanted to be a writer for DC Comics, and he actually applied.
That's actually that's something I didn't know. And then so the son did a IDW did what IDW or whatever. So that's
Oh,
kind of
he's an
cool.
IDW writer. Okay, that's good.
No, he did he did IDW. He did for Image like stuff for himself, and he did
He
he
did
was
under
all over there.
pseudonym. You said.
Yeah, he did it under
Yeah.
a pseudonym. Actually, let
Okay.
me go grab that book real quick. I forget. I always
Good.
forget his damn pseudonym. I always forget. So let me go
Yeah,
grab
I'll
that.
tell the story of Jim or
Yeah.
Stephen King. So Stephen King loved comic books. No surprise, right? A lot of good writers were comic book fans, and he applied to DC Comics. He sent a letter to Marv Wolfman, this really detailed letter outlining like he wanted to, he's graduating and he wanted to join as an intern and become a writer at DC.
So this is the Stephen King son's
Oh,
book,
okay,
Joe
cool.
Hill. Yeah,
Joe
Joe
Hill.
Hill. That's it. That's it. And then
Nice.
so
All
like
right,
the
so
books.
Stephen King sends this letter to Marv Wolfman, okay, and he never hears back from Marv Wolfman, and
Hmm.
he was waiting to hear back from DC before he took a job. I think he was going to get a job as, I think writing. Like he was going to get commissioned to write like a novel and uh,
But he
wrote
really wanted to write comic books. I
he
remember
wanted to
the
write
interview.
comic books. He didn't want to get
Yeah.
into publishing and putting his work out. But eventually he just like he couldn't wait around because he needed to make money. So he
Right.
started putting his work out to publishers and, I think,
Yeah. And his
yeah, and the
history
rest
was
is history, right? Because he
right.
just got into
And then
writing
his son
bestseller
ended
books.
up doing that too with this because
Yeah.
well this wasn't his first, but this was the thing that he's known for is the lock and key stuff. And Joe and then he did Nosferatu. That was another that was a book that he did was the Christmas based one I was saying, and it was and then he did something firefighter or fire starter something like that. But
Firestarter.
I mean, yeah, but that's Steve.
Drew
You know,
Barrymore.
that's yeah.
Drew
But
Barrymore's Firestarter.
yeah. But and then his then Joe then his son ended up doing something like firefighter or fire something like that, but it's similar. Like what the basis wasn't similar, but the name was similar. So it was like that, and then there was like the son's done a lot of short stories.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of short stories, and then but he's known for doing comic books pretty much. Like under so he's known for doing the lock and key stuff.
Cool. So to bring the Stephen King stories full circle,
Right.
Marv Wolfman, they interviewed him about this, found Stephen King's letter.
Uh-huh.
Like it was mailed to him, but it was like sitting on his desk for many months or many weeks.
Oh, okay.
And he eventually found the letter.
Right.
And thought, oh, okay, let me respond. But it was like months later, and he didn't ever get a chance to like tell Stephen King, hey, I like your work. Why don't you come to DC and intern for us or work for us?
Right.
And then this is the story Marv Wolfman tells. He's like, yeah, I never got a chance to hire Stephen King because I never found his letter in time. And he had taken the fledgling novelist route, and the rest is history. So like basically Stephen King could have been the next Jim Shooter,
could have been like
whoever.
or it could have been like his son, his son.
Well, I think his son's different. His son's obviously like, I think whatever his son wants to be a writer, right? And I think a great way to really get better at your craft is to do serial work, like just
Right.
write. And that's what
Right.
comics provides you. You can do
Right.
sort of a keep the same subject, but just
Right.
build upon it.
Right.
So I think that's a great choice.
Yeah.
Does he
And
want to be a
then
novelist though?
yeah, he has now he has I think yeah, Nosferatu is a novel. There's a couple of novels that he has. It's just uh, he's been doing a lot, but I just haven't been keeping up again. So it's like, but he didn't want to know. He didn't want to be known as Joe King. He wanted to be known as. That's why he used
Yeah,
the
yeah.
pseudonym Joe
His
Hill.
dad's. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's hard to live.
yeah,
It's
in
hard
his
to live,
shadow.
yeah, under the shadow of your famous parent. But
Yeah, so that's
it's
why he
cool.
was known as Joe. That's why everybody, like a lot of people, oh, who's this Joe Hill person? But and then a lot of people found out in interviews he's actually Stephen King's son. So
So
it's
I
like
got to read this stuff, but how's his writing compared to his dad?
I mean, pretty interesting. It's a little different, but I think you'll enjoy it if you like his dad stuff. You'll like his stuff too. He's similar to his dad, but different at the same time. So, but it's not. But his endings aren't as crazy.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
mean, they're still crazy, but they ain't like as crazy as Stephen King stuff. But there is, there's a little bit of that King craziness in it, but it ain't.
gotcha.
You know what I mean?
His
So
his dad said, "This is what you got to do to sell books." Okay, Dad.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
it's he ended up doing. I think it wasn't even. It was. I think he did. Well, Lock and Key wasn't the first thing he did. He did some other stuff before the Lock and Key stuff. But as soon as the Lock and Key book hit, he had a hit. Like as soon as everybody read it, they went, "Who's this guy?" Da 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 da. And then it ended up being on Netflix for 2 seasons or three, something like that. But they almost told the whole thing, whole story. So it's pretty cool. I mean, you'll enjoy it. You know what I mean? So if you get a chance, you know, if you like Stephen King stuff, you should read the Lock and Key stuff. The comics
Yeah,
are really good. So
try to check it out. Don't have much
yeah,
time for reading these days, but I'll try to check it out.
yeah. But well, it's an hour and 45, so well, I'm gonna call it. Then getting a little tired, so
Yeah, get
all
some
right,
rest, man. We'll do it. We're gonna
yeah,
come back and convene next week. So three
yep,
books, remember?
yep,
Respect, Rec, Flex.
yeah,
Um, Next week, we'll come back with some topics, but it'll be
yep,
November. And we'll be
yeah.
in like preparing for Thanksgiving and all that stuff. So come back and we'll do it all over again.
All right, guys. We'll check you guys later, and we'll see you soon. We'll see you next week.